What is up, guys? I'm Josh Weissman, and today things are going to be a little bit different. So today we're going to be making blood orange scones. Okay. First thing is, I forgot my microphone, so this part of the audio is going to be kind of terrible. I always forget something, don't I? The second thing is, I'm not in my typical recording location. I'm actually in, what would you call this place, Kate?
It's a ranch house.
This is my girlfriend's ranch house. It is our 2-year anniversary.
Woo! Woo!
Sounds about as excited as I am. To me, it just seems like a ranch housey type thing to make, right? Ranch houses, country houses make scones.
Yeah.
Stop. So I'll just stop talking. We're gonna go ahead and make this.
Alright, so you're going to start with 112 grams or half a cup of cold unsalted butter. Make sure that it is cold. And all you got to do is cut the butter into cubes. I would recommend putting it in a bowl and then putting it back in the fridge while you get all of your ingredients together. That way it stays cold. Now, in a large bowl with 448 grams or 3 cups of all-purpose flour, you're going to add 58 grams or a quarter cup of sugar. Next, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which is about 8 grams, and half a teaspoon of baking soda, which is 4 grams. Now, due to movie magic and me forgetting to film this part, you're also going to add a generous pinch of salt, and then you're going to whisk it until incorporated. Next, you're going to add the grated zest of 1 whole lemon and the grated zest of half of a blood orange or regular orange. Give it a nice thorough whisking until everything is incorporated. Now, to that mixture, you're going to add your cubed chilled butter from earlier. Now, once all the butter is in the flour mixture, you're just going to lightly toss it to coat it with flour. Now, using your hands or a pastry blender, you're going to incorporate and break apart the butter into the flour mixture until you are left with pea-sized bits. Now, I prefer to use my hands just because it's easier and it's one less utensil, and I didn't really have any utensils while I was at this ranch house. So notice how I'm using my hands to sort of squeeze and press the butter into like thin little shavings and then tossing it back with the flour. That is the best way to blend the butter and flour together with your hands. While you're doing this, sort of occasionally toss the flour just to get an idea of what it's looking like right now. Now, lastly, don't spend too long on this part. You don't want the butter to be melting. You just want to break it apart. Now, once you're done and your mixture looks kind of like this, and you have sort of nice, evenly broken up bits of butter, but then an occasional large piece here and there, that is what you want. To that mixture, add half a cup or 95 grams of heavy whipping cream. Then you're going to add 3/4 of a cup or 175 grams of whole milk. Now, using a wooden spoon, you're going to carefully mix this until it begins to form a dough and comes together. Now, you don't want to overmix this and you don't want to develop too much gluten, so don't overmix. Now, once it starts to come together, you're going to use your hands to fold the dough over itself and lightly press it into itself. This is a really gentle form of kneading. Don't do this too much, just do it until it comes together. Now, lightly flour a work surface and turn your dough out onto that work surface. Redundant, I know. Now, at this point, your dough may look a little shaggy, but don't worry. Now, you're going to gently pat the dough into about a 9-inch long rectangle. Now, typically, I would have used a rolling pin there, but we couldn't find a rolling pin, so we searched for a while, and I just chose the patting method, so that does work. Once you've got your rectangle, you're just going to fold it into thirds like a letter. Rotate it 90 degrees, and then press it out just like you did the last rectangle. Or use a rolling pin, which I would recommend. Now, I just wanted to say, then I thought of something really smart, and I decided to use a olive oil bottle to roll the dough out. And it actually worked pretty well. So, hey, if you don't have a rolling pin, use an olive oil bottle. You're welcome. Anyway, you're going to fold it back into thirds just like you did last time. Rotate it 90 degrees and roll it with an olive oil bottle. Just kidding, you please use a rolling pin if you have one. So that'll equate to 3 total folds. Next, you're going to form it back into a circular disc this time. And you want that disc to be about 3/4 of an inch thick. And just like a pizza, you're going to cut it into 8 equal triangles. Next, arrange them on a parchment-lined baking sheet, keeping them separate so none of them are touching. Here's a brief and sad shot of me desperately searching for a brush. Now, I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have a brush, because guess what? I didn't. Lightly brush the top of your scones with heavy cream using either a brush like a normal person or your fingers. Next, you're going to bake them in an oven preheated to 415 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 18 minutes, or until the tops of them are a golden brown. Now we're gonna take advantage of that baking time. While those are baking, you're gonna go ahead and make your glaze. All you need is 1 cup or 150 grams of powdered sugar. To that, you're gonna add 43 grams or the juice of 1 whole blood orange. And then add that and just whisk it together. Super simple. That's the glaze. That is all you need. Just do me a favor and don't make glaze mistakes. Just make sure that you whisk it until it is completely smooth and no more chunks remain. It is depressing to bite into a powdered sugar chunk. And there they are, our beautiful scones. Now all we need to do is glaze them. Now I feel like this part is pretty self-explanatory. Just literally spoon out some of the glaze onto each and every scone. That's it. Put as much or as little as you want. It's really up to you. That's the beauty of a scone. And now, one more overly sexualized B-roll sequence of scones.
Alright guys, and that is it. Blood orange scones. Very simple, very straight to the point. If I can do it without all of my tools, then so can you. I mean, I used a balsamic vinegar bottle to roll the dough, so you know, you just gotta be creative. But other than that, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next week.